2015's over. We're a month and a half into 2016. You might be finding yourself in what's known as a game lull, or also what I like to call a game drought. Meaning, that's it. You beat all the big ones, the Fallouts, the Metal Gears, the Witchers. They're all done. The newer action multiplayer games like Black Ops or Rainbow Six Siege could be losing its appeal. You could start be getting bored of that. You find yourself going back, playing some of the older games. Maybe you had backlogged. So then you start digging deeper. Maybe you have another system, a PS4 game you wanted to play. You start going through the Xbox Live Arcade, seeing if there's anything you would like to replay or maybe something to purchase. You might even go hook up the Xbox 360, want to maybe, or some multiplayer Call of Duty or something. Could say, alright, so there's nothing left to play. Maybe you could spend your time doing something a little more constructive, like reading the Game of Thrones series. If you want to go through all 6,000 pages of the 5 books that are out. Maybe you don't want to do that. Maybe instead someone will say, pick up another hobby. Why don't you play an instrument or something? Maybe you're bored of that too. Maybe you should go outside and get a little fresh air, do something a little more constructive with yourself. Only problem is, maybe there's 2 feet of fucking snow outside. So no, you don't want to do that either. And maybe you start to look up games, you start to ask your buddies some games you haven't played, some ideas. So my buddies know me well. I'm asking around for what games to play. I'm really excited for Dark Souls 3 to come out. I've been a huge fan of the Souls series. I played them all, back from Demon Souls to Dark Souls 1, 2, the Scholar of the First Sin. So one of my buddies suggested that I play this game right here, Lords of the Fallen. First thing you're going to hear about Lords of the Fallen is that it is a Dark Souls ripoff, or like Dark Souls. Is the game like Dark Souls? Yes, absolutely. Is the game a Dark Souls ripoff? No, it's not. Plenty of great games are made that feel or have similar mechanics to other games. Just look at what God of War did towards the Darksiders series or Castlevania Lords of Shadow 1. All great games, similar mechanics in platforming or combat. Lords of Fallen definitely has a very similar combat structure to Dark Souls. A similar feel. The layouts of the levels are similar too, in that you find shortcuts and checkpoints. Instead of souls, you gain experience, use it to level up. Yeah, it definitely draws a lot of influence from the Dark Souls series, but you know what? It knows it. One of the achievements you unlock in the game right away is the real Lords of the Fallen begins now, or starts now. That's exactly what it says everywhere in Demon Souls. I don't mind the game being like Dark Souls. I love Dark Souls. I know it's not Dark Souls. Throughout the review, because I'm sure plenty of you have played the Dark Souls series, I am going to be using a lot of compare and contrast with the Dark Souls series, so you can kind of get a better interpretation for how the game actually is. First, the graphics. The graphics are fine. The game looks very well. The environments, the main character looks good. The armor sets, they all look good. The enemies, the bosses look great. The enemy designs all look cool. Looking out over the world, the backgrounds, all that, the game looks good. The sound is very good. There's definitely more structured story in this game. In Dark Souls, there is a story and there's a lot of lore, just a lot of people don't know where to look for it. I am kind of a nerd, so I know a lot of the Dark Souls lore and I'm really into it. If you do know it all in the Dark Souls, the storyline for Lords of the Fallen it's a lot more straightforward and it's given to you. But it's good. It's fun to progress. I mean, the NPCs you actually speak with, you have a lot of choices of speech options, and it goes to cutscenes often where you're talking to the other NPCs, stuff like that you'll never see in Dark Souls. So it was nice to have that in one of these kind of games to break it up a little bit. The soundtrack in the game is alright. When it does come on, the game is there's some like eerie, silent parts that I don't really understand, and the music will pop in out of nowhere, and then you'll like replay the same area or the same boss fight, and there'll be no music at all. But when the music plays, it's usually pretty good. So when you play the game, this is our main character that you see here right on the cover. His name is something like, I think it's Hard Dick, and Hard Dick has these tattoos all over his face to show that at one point in his life he was a prisoner. And the prisoners have to wear the mark of the sins that they committed. As you progress through the story and you go through different levels, you'll see a lot of the plot has to do with sin and judgment and repenting for your sins by typically death. As for gameplay, like I said, very similar to Dark Souls from how you would use the weapons, the light and heavy attacks, the sword, the shield, L1, shield bash, L2, press Y to dual wield. The combat system overall is more simplified and definitely easier for a beginner to pick up. Hard Dick's the only character you can choose from in the game. It's not like a create a class. There are three separate like builds you can start as, and then like 3 magic builds from there. No matter which of the 3 you choose, it's just a difference of base stats. So you know you could always go back and work on fate or agility or something different than you started with. I actually started this game as just a very basic strength, endurance, vitality build. The last couple of playthroughs of a Dark Souls or Demon Souls, I did straight faith build or dark magician or dex build, so I actually haven't played just a basic all-out brawler in a while, so that's what I chose in this. As you kill your enemies, you get your experience, which is like Souls. You go to a checkpoint, you cash them in. What's cool about this is, let's say you got 10,000 souls on you. I'm probably going to be calling it souls, just easier than saying experience every 2 seconds. As you're out in the level trying to get through, you could run back, check your, bank your souls in the checkpoint. Like, picture doing this at a bonfire. You take your 10,000 souls, but you need, let's say, 11,000 to level up. You could take the 10,000, put it in the checkpoint like a bank towards your next level up, then go back out and not worry about losing the souls you already collected. But there is a downside to that. The more souls you have on you, there is a multiplier that increases, letting you get more experience. Like, it's a 1.0 with no souls. You kill a guy, you get 100 souls. Let's say now you have 5,000 souls on you. The multiplier is 1.5, so now you get 150 souls from the guy who had 100 souls, and so on and so forth. When you do level your character up, it's a lot more basic than Dark Souls. You have agility, faith, and your strength, endurance, and vitality. Dark Souls, for the first time, for people who haven't played it, is definitely really not as friendly. The first playthrough of some type of Dark Souls game is like going to school. You have to learn. In this, it's more friendly. It's RPG friendly. We'll say it's straightforward. It says exactly what it does. Strength for strength build, faith for magic, so on and so forth. And it's only got, like I said, only like 5 or 6 to increase. Oh, and a luck for item drops on the bottom, which honestly I don't think I put 1 point into it. I didn't really find it necessary. It has a very welcoming, easy to learn loot system. You kill enemies, they drop weapons, and it's very clear and concise to see which weapons and are better than the others. Like, once again, in the Soul series, you could go through a whole game with the sword and pick up another one and really not even know which one is clearly better or not. With how scaling works and what you can do to weapons, you gotta get the more experienced the Dark Souls player, the more they learn about that. In this game, it's right there, it's right in your face, shows you what increases what. This game has a rune system. The runes are also very easy. You just put on a rune and it shows you exactly what stats go up. You could put runes into any of your armor, your helmets. There's no specific upgrade system like level 1, 2, 3 armor. It's just runes that you build. You get runes from defeating bosses. Story is pretty engaging, like I said. It's nothing too crazy. By the end of the game in the story, you're met with some big choices to make and some plot twists, but they didn't really do a good job of character investment, so you don't really feel, I guess, the weight or the importance of the decision. I know I didn't when I was playing it. I was like, all right, I gotta do this to this guy, do this to this guy. I was like, well, I don't care. It's like, I'll do whatever. I'll fucking kill everybody. I don't really have a shred of emotion for any of the characters in the game besides the main character himself, which is still just, he's your basic meathead. It took me a little over 9 hours to beat the game. It was very short, and I didn't expect that. I didn't even know I was coming towards the end of the game until, like, it was the second to last boss fight, and I was about 8.5 hours, and I went, oh, wait a minute. I was like, is this going to be the end coming up? Am I going for the final boss right here? I was like, nah, that can't be, that can't be. Would I say disappointingly short? Yeah, you know, this game I definitely expected at least a 20-hour campaign, but I didn't even get half that. It does have New Game Plus, which you'll go through again if you like. I dabbled into it a little bit, but I just didn't have it in me to go through the game a whole nother time. This game also can be incredibly fucking frustrating. Dark Souls is incredibly frustrating and incredibly rewarding. Lords of the Fallen is incredibly frustrating and incredibly rewarding. but for different reasons. Lord of the Fallen's reasons are more on the negative side. A lot of the difficulty I found wasn't just from the actual gameplay, but more from the flaws in the game. For one, let's talk about the combat system. It's fucking slow. It's very slow. I cannot express how slow the combat system is. The slow roll is hysterical. You think the overburdened roll in Dark Souls is red? You gotta see it in this game. The majority of weapons in the strength build are great swords, great axes, great hammers, and they are incredibly slow as well. You gotta see. You won't believe how long it takes to swing these weapons. And yeah, there are few weapons in the game that do have a little bit faster of a swing speed, but when you make a strength build, that's not what you're going to be using. Those weapons don't scale, and they barely do any damage. You'll have to hit each enemy 700 times. I came to the conclusion while playing this game that Hardcock has the slowest attack speed than any character in the entire world of Lords of Fallen. He's the slowest motherfucking character in the entire game. The weakest enemies to the strongest enemies all swing faster than Hardcock. Oh, is it all part of the game's play style? Yeah, sure it is, but it's still just a little too slow. At times, it is very annoying or frustrating. For example, enemies of shields. You could use a shield bash, kick, a parry, or other moves to break a shield defense. And before you even get the quick attack off, the other enemy has already recuperated. The animation of the is over, and he strikes you before you even get it done. It's ridiculous. The game could have still kept its balance if there was weapons that had a little faster attack animations, and they look ridiculous.
First, let's take a look at how this guy fights. This is his fast attack. What the fuck is he doing? What is that? He's swinging the sword from his shoulder, cutting his own head off from the back as he goes through with the swipe. Look at that. Where do you learn to fight like that? That's some real intimidating fighting skills. And then this is how he learned his heavy attack, which is that's a fantastic move too. 10 seconds later, he turns backwards, sticks his ass in the enemy, and then swings upwards. It's good. That's this guy's training, who goes all over the world to kill fucking giant demon lords.
Today, a man will teach a warrior how to be a great water dancer. I, Sirio Forel, will teach the art of the attack. First, we're going to go with a quick attack. No. A man wants to know what the fuck he just looked at. A man cannot believe what he is seeing. Now a man will teach a heavy attack. A man can only take so much. A man gives up. You're also going to learn these enemies have what I call circle magnetism. It's when they're on a pivot and they go to thrust, a straight thrust at you, that you would normally just dodge left or right to get out of the way and counterattack. And the thrust, even though it goes forward and you go this way, they still connect with you over there. It's because they spin in a circle the same speed as you. They have like a fucking 90-degree window of a straight stab that's going to hit you. Picture me trying to stab you with this sword, and the stab going in this motion, but my feet planted straight on the ground. Whew. That's what all the enemies do. The rolling is a lot harder. The rolling is definitely a lot harder. The rolling's a lot harder to get used to than Dark Souls, and Dark Souls it's your best friend. I still think even by the end of the game, I was having so much trouble with figuring out the timing of the rolls to be invincible on the floor that I started to not roll whatsoever and just pick and choose my battles more wisely with running away. The locking on is a bit of a problem too. The fucking camera is your worst enemy. It will get you killed over and over and over again. It will get you killed in boss fights. It will get you killed in any short corridors. Forget it. I don't even know what it does. If it gets too close, the game like panics and it makes you invisible. So I guess you could see what's right in front of you, but you can't even see your guy at all. You don't know that you're there or that you're off the screen. It gets really confusing. And I mean, yeah, of course you could rotate it and stuff, but at certain times it's just the camera is impossible to deal with. Because of these little timing issues and rolling issues, it made some of the boss fights a lot more difficult than it should have been. One of the bosses in this game I had to attempt like 25 times till I could figure out the timing of all my defensive moves to go against his arsenal, just because of little flaws with the rolling or with the lock-on system is a little confusing as well. Like I said, it tends a lot of times to, as the enemy moves, if you try to roll away, it'll roll you into them, right into the attack, and you'll get more fucked up, and it does get quite annoying. The game's just a single-player run. There's no co-op, no summoning, or any of that. There were times I wanted to throw the disc out the window, but I toughed it out. I played the game all the way through to the end, and you know what? By the end of it, it was pretty good. It was a fun playthrough. Is it better than the Dark Souls games? No, it's not. And if you read any reviews or if anyone says it is, it's not. I'm telling you, it's just not better than Dark Souls. But it's not Dark Souls. Not 100% at least. And is the game worth the playthrough? If you're in a game lull, like I happen to be right now, ripping your hair out, if you have nothing better to do, yeah, it's good. You know what? The game, it's just above average game. I'd say it's like a solid 6.5 out of 10 if I had to put a number on it. So that's definitely playable. I also didn't have the opportunity to go through any DLCs on it. Do I want to? Maybe on the next game lull. Well, I like to see another Lords of the Fallen in the future and think it has a future, and would I like to see a sequel if they build on some of its uniqueness and fix just a little bit of those gameplay mechanics that got really annoying. Definitely, I would play another Lords of the Fallen game. So if you're suffering from the mental game lull, go out and get yourself a copy of Lords of Fallen 4. It's like $14.99, I think, used at GameStop. Maybe like 20 bucks on the arcade, who knows. But it's worth a playthrough if you're accustomed to those type of Dark Souls series. If someone never played Dark Souls and they just picked up this game as the first type to play with, I don't think they would appreciate it like it as much. So I wouldn't recommend it for a player who hasn't already played the Dark Souls series. Till then, if there's anything you want me guys to take a look at, let me know down in the comments. Subscribe and like, and I'll see you next time. Tman out.